We've heard all of the narratives and different conversations about how Russell Wilson is ready to leave the Seahawks to go to 4 teams if he is to be traded. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, what if I told you this was all smoke? That's right, guys. Hey, wait. Say no less. Say no less. Let's get into this right after I welcome everybody back to Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. That's right, guys. Do me a huge favor. This is free. Click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like these videos, share these videos, comment on these videos, guys. Without further ado, we just going to jump right on into this. Oh, I forgot. Y'all can follow us on social media as well. Don't forget, the links are listed down below in the description. But let's just jump into this. I'm excited. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, first and foremost, let me thank every last one of you guys that has been rocking with me, man. The outpouring support from all of you out there. I want to thank you right now for joining this ride that we're on. And I'm going to continue to keep trying to push this thing higher and higher, guys. Let's get into this thing right now. Guys, this story has been going on for the past week now. Well, actually, it's been going on since the daggone Super Bowl. You all seen Russell Wilson sitting up in the stands, up in the box, with his wife, Sierra, and Roger Goodell. You know, that stern look on his face, like he was just so upset about him not being out there on the field playing in the Super Bowl. Well, guys, guess what? We already know why he wasn't out there, right? His team didn't win, correct? Okay, cool. We can move on from that point and go on to the next one. So, guys, yes, now all of a sudden we got all this talk going on about him wanting to be traded to the, if the Seattle Seahawks decide they want to trade him, he's willing to go to 4 teams. 4, right? The Dallas Cowboys, which we already know there's a pressing issue going on right now with Dak Prescott trying to get his contract negotiated so he can go ahead and sign on the dotted line. Then we got the Chicago Bears. We got the Las Vegas Raiders. And then we turn around and we got the New Orleans Saints. And we still have not heard from Drew Brees yet whether or not he's going to retire. And if he does decide to retire, is Tyson Hill going to be the starting quarterback or will it be Jameis Winston? We don't know that one either. But you know what? I got to give the man credit. He's using everything he can to his leverage to try and get his point across. But the biggest problem that I have is the fact that when you use the 5 guys up front that block for your behind the whole daggone season, making sure you're able to throw for 4,300 yards, I think that's a bit sad, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no way in the world you throw for 4,300 yards and your linemen are not blocking for you. Russell, your linemen's not the issue. Everything was all good while you guys was winning. If I'm not mistaken, you guys went 5-0, right? You went in there, all of a sudden you get upset because you wanted to see some changes happen. You want to see some changes happen within the offense. I get that. But guys, you know what? I want to know how many of you out there agree with me to the fact that it was the offense that the problem. The offense wasn't the problem. It was the defense. The defense couldn't plug a dam if it was just a little hole in it right now. No one could walk up to it, put their finger in it to make sure that no water would seep out that little bitty hole. The defense just couldn't stop nothing. I mean, period, point blank, they just couldn't stop anything. And guys, I'm just going to be real. When you're sitting back, you watching Russell Wilson throw that ball all over the field. If you watch some of the Seattle games like I have, I'm going to be honest with you, watching Metcalf run just go routes. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of you out there that probably are fantasy football owners, and you're probably going to say, oh, man, you know what you're talking about. But please tell me how many other routes did you see Metcalf run outside of a go route? A straight 9. Just tell me. I'm waiting to hear it because Metcalf cannot run all of the routes on the route tree. He can't. He's just a big size guy. You throw the ball up to it, throw the ball out there to him. He's going to bully you to get the ball. He's going to take off and run down, and score a touchdown for you. Why? Because he's a big dude. He's a big guy to have to cover. So my other question is, Russell Wilson, why are you standing back there in the pocket, patting the ball, trying to find the long, you trying to throw that long ball to Metcalf? You didn't have anybody else while you were surveying the field that was open, coming across on a dig, coming across on a dig, across a pattern, out route. I mean, come on, man. I mean, if you didn't have that, why didn't you throw the ball away? Or better yet, why didn't you tuck the ball and daggone take off with it? I mean, here's another one for you. If you saw that the defense changed up on you while you were doing, while you were giving your cadence at the line of scrimmage, why didn't you check down the play and run something different? Not you. You want to keep throwing the ball. I'm sorry. There's one thing for certain, 2 things for sure. Everybody can sit back and say, oh, with Tom Brady, he was clean. No, he wasn't. Tom Brady was still getting his behind knocked around. Nah, don't get it twisted. After the Buccaneers got ahead of the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs couldn't pin their ears back and take off on Brady like they did previously when they played during the season. They had to play him straight up. Why? Because Brady was lighting their behind up. Every time they moved from a spot, That's where they threw the ball to. So you had to pick your poison dealing with that. But I'm just going to be honest with you. Guys, this is another thing. This is another point. When the Seahawks played the Arizona Cardinals, they did one thing right that they hadn't done and God knows when. Arizona was on a hot streak trying to build their way up to make sure that they're putting themselves in position to get into the playoffs. Guess what? Seattle, I'm about to call them the Supersonics. The Seattle Seahawks came in there and they controlled the clock. How did they control the clock? They ran the ball for 200 yards. They controlled the clock by running the ball. They kept daggone Kyler Murray off the field, making sure he wasn't able to take control of that game and get Arizona back in the contention to possibly win the game. So I'm like, what's going on here? I get it. I get it. The real reason all of this is going on right now is Russell Wilson. He put a note in the suggestion box, and the coaches didn't take him up on the suggestion. He's a little upset right now. And I understand you trying to play it however you can to make sure that you have a little bit more leverage because A, you're supposed to be the captain of the team. B, you are the quarterback. You are their guy. But C, we already know you ain't going nowhere. I mean, if this was such an issue, all of a sudden now, the issue should have been when y'all played the daggone New England Patriots in the Super Bowl and you threw that daggone interception instead of handing the ball off to Marshawn Lynch for him to run it in. Like I said, everybody wants to be that guy, but don't understand sometimes to be the guy, you have to let somebody else stand next to you to be that guy as well. And that's not something you're willing to do. My thing to you is this, Russell Wilson, listen to me. Like I said before, I always believe in calling a spade, and I'm going to slap the ass of the elephant that's standing in the middle of the room to make sure everybody understands exactly what's going on. Russell Wilson, you are the problem. You need to look in the mirror and understand that. You owe your lineman a daggone apology. Seriously. Me being a lineman myself, I wouldn't take too kind of that, especially if we're going to go back out here next season and I got a block for your behind. Man, you might mess around and one of them jokers might olay and let somebody deck your behind just to help you understand what you said was foul. The bottom line is your problem is with the coaching staff and your suggestions not being taken seriously. That's the problem, not the lineman, because the lineman let you throw for 4,300 yards last year. I'm sorry. So let's keep this thing a buck. Let's get it together. And like I said, man, stand firm on what you believe. Do what you wish. I mean, as a quarterbacks, they get a little funky. They feel that they shouldn't be touched or whatever have you. But I'm just saying, so we got to use this up here. So if you don't want to be hit, either throw the ball away, tuck that sucker and run, or get on your receivers and make sure they run some routes. You got some people out there that's going to run the routes that need to be run. That passing tree that you used to have, that pass tree that you used to use, when you was playing Little League football. Hey, throw the 7, throw the 9, throw the 5. Yeah, make sure you got some guys out there on the field that can do that. But basically, you need to get a daggone defense. You get a defense, you might be all right. Like I said, you guys started off hot, and all of a sudden you fell off. So other than that, look at your defense. Quit blaming your coaches, and let's get this thing in order. Get out there, win some more Super Bowls. But, hey, we'll sit back and wait and see how this thing go come next season, because I'm sure we're going to be right back in the same position again, talking about how the Seattle Seahawks didn't do what they need to do to keep this man upright after he throws for probably 5,000 yards next season. But until next time, guys, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe. Also, remember, you can follow us on social media. The links are listed down below. And remember, be the one and lead.